He was dead before I could even see his face. Moro. What a savage. What a savage monstrosity of a great villain in the making, baby. Because this chapter of Dragon Ball Super was... Ooh, 46 right there. 46 reasons why you need to be up on Dragon Ball Super, baby. Because Moro, I ain't gonna lie, I was getting early Namek vibes. Let's just jump into this bad boy.
But I hope you know that wherever you go and whoever you meet won't be better than me. And I hope you know when it's all said and done, I was the best one. Yeah, you know.
So the chapter picks up from where the last one left off with Vegeta's L, you know, the big old L that he was catching at the hands of Moro. Moro was tossing him around like a Raggedy Ann doll, and I don't even know if anybody will know that reference, but yeah, he's getting tossed around like a jibba jabba. Again, you might not get that reference either, but that's okay. He's getting just destroyed. He's getting his ass kicked in the beginning of the chapter, and then Goku thinks like, alright fam, yo, we cool right now, we about to jump this dude, you know, we can't beat him, don't join him, jump him, you know what I'm saying? That was the mentality Goku had, but then he gets bopped too, and honestly, it's just really showing Moro, he's that guy right now, because you got to think, okay, they're both Super Saiyan Blue, and they've had both their individual power-ups that they had during the Tournament of Power. Then, of course, in the Dragon Ball Super Broly film, they fought a credible foe, so even though they don't get Zenkai boosts anymore, so, but the point being is that they went above and beyond. The only thing that they can't, or they haven't done yet is, of course, Fusion and Ultra Instinct, and we'll talk about those in a bit, but they pretty much, you know, they're tip-top form. And you know what I mean? They're at the creme de la creme of what they could do as of right now, again, minus Ultra Instinct and Fusion, which those kind of feel like cheat codes at this point, or convenient plot devices, so to speak, because Ultra Instinct comes in, it's a wrap. We already know that. So, Moro, though, definitely a nasty monster, because the way he beats on them, it's like he don't care, and you can see that. It kind of makes you wonder, because, okay, Moro, he's not necessarily, if you think about it, let's just analyze the situation for a second. Moro, he has that Android 19, human spirit bomb, like he's a combination of a lot of the problems that the Z Fighters, I'm still going to call them Z Fighters, I don't care, have faced in the past. Again, he swallows a giant blast like Android 19. As they're fighting, they're getting their energy drained from them. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't no joke right now. This is serious business. And on top of that, you got to think that Moro is old right now. So there's two sides of it, because there's one side of like, okay, hold on, he's just kind of using the fact that he can absorb their ki and weaken them, and that's why he's getting them, which definitely that's true, but he is also formidable. And then at the same time, you got to think, what would happen if Moro does accomplish his goal of getting some type of Dragon Balls, wishes himself to, which I'm imagining his goal is to be young, kind of like King Piccolo wanted to be young, so, or was it revealed already? I'm not sure if that was revealed, if his motive for the Dragon Balls was revealed or not. I'm assuming it's for the age thing. Imagine if he's at his young prime, full power, non-stop against these guys, and they can't even beat him now. So by the end of all this, unless Goku is able to use Ultra Instinct at will, they still won't even have been as formidable as Moro, which again, you could argue Moro is a cheat. You could say Moro, how are you going to put him in this class? Because whatever the case may be, we're in a new era. As I've said in my last video, we're going into a different era where we're seeing the Z Fighters, so to speak, having to face a lot of the problems that shonen characters nowadays face. You know what I'm saying? It's not just always the big muscles, you know, strength wins. No, a lot of times now it's with like My Hero Academia, quirks, or Black Clover. They kind of have quirks in there too. It's like, it's kind of adding that type of element to, well, how do the Z Fighters fight this off? Because, you know, they mainly use it started off, of course, martial arts, you know, punching, kicking, and ki blasts, you know what I'm saying? So now that they're having to face a foe that is like, oh, he has a technique that, which they kind of faced stuff like that in the past, but this is an incredibly strong one. And again, Goku and Vegeta took a major L, both of them, starting of the chapter. I am like, if that doesn't show how much of a beast Moro is, because I was scared. I thought it was going to be, okay, Vegeta gets his butt whipped, Goku somehow, Moro leaves Goku, or whatever the case may be, done. But no, in order to show how much of a threat Moro is, the writer decided, which I don't know if this is a Toriyama-based draft or how this story is being written at this point, but the writer decides, let's take down not only Vegeta, let's take down Goku as well, and let's show that this guy is not a joke. So again, it antes up the stakes. It makes it seem like, well, how do we beat him at this point? In the chapter we get that Majin Buu is slowly waking up. I would love to see somehow if Majin Buu could spit out the, what was his name, Daikaio, if I'm not mistaken, but again, I believe he was called Daikaio, but you know, the Kai that they're trying to get in order to stop Moro. So I'm kind of curious if they're going to be able to pull him out of Majin Buu and get that information, or Buu is going to have to suck one of them up. Because again, if they rip him out of Buu, because if I'm not mistaken, from what I remember, the insides of Majin Buu, you're in that cocoon, you can't really move, you can't, you know, you're just unconscious there. So they're not going to be able to get to him that way unless they get in there and can somehow read his mind. They have telepathy, then that's a possibility there of how to get the information of how to stop this guy. But again, if they pull him out, I wonder what would happen. It'd be interesting to have a new threat of Buu. I would like to see some sort of threat of Majin Buu again, like maybe he spits out another version of Kid Buu, or imagine he spit out Kid Buu and they just squashed him immediately. That'd be hilarious. Either way, I'm interested to see how they're going to go about with this whole thing of getting the information from the inside of Buu, because Buu don't know none of that. Buu, if I'm not mistaken, he wouldn't be able to tell them any of this because he's Buu. He's silly, he's, you know, like a little kid. So I don't think Buu can tell them. They need to get it from him. So how do you do that without ripping him out, unless you could use telekinesis of some sort, or, you know, telepathy? And let's just talk about Moro for a minute, because Moro, he's being one of those villains which I like when we get these nasty, just cold-hearted villains like a Frieza. That's what Moro gave me vibes of. This feels like this is what Majin Buu should have been, but at the same time it's giving that badassery of Frieza when he first got to Namek and he's just knocking the Namekians down, slapping them around, punching them around, making a joke and a mockery of the Namekians. That's what Moro was doing after he kicked Goku and Vegeta's butt, which again, you gotta look at it like this. Hold on. If Moro did it like that, and then on top of that, basically leaves them out to rot because, you know, his little helper there is like, hey, what about them? He's like, I don't even value them. He has a god complex. Maybe Moro, maybe his wish isn't even to be young. Maybe he wants to be the Omni King. Imagine this is taking kind of like parts of what's happening in the Dragon Ball Heroes anime of their kind of an attack on Zeno. Maybe Moro is trying to have an attack on Zeno, and that's the whole ordeal. That would be freaking crazy because, again, right now it's going to take fighters above what Goku and Vegeta can do. We need a Beerus, we need a Whis. And that's where I'm starting to wonder, like, okay, how is this guy, Moro, going to be taken down? Because Goku and Vegeta on their own, clearly no match, especially as Moro's using that power. He gets even stronger, they're absolutely no match. So it's either going to be, we're going to see Gogeta return, Vegito return, which Fusion, they never get the job done anyway. Fusion's the coolest letdown you'll probably ever get in Dragon Ball. One of the coolest letdowns, because they're always the most badass, their personality is hype, you're loving it, and then it's like, oh, they split before they could finish the job, every single time. So, Fusion, even if we see it, do I really want it? It's cool, I guess the fans will go crazy, everybody will go, whoa! But I don't really care for Fusion like that. At the very least, after especially the Broly film, and again, it couldn't get it done. Which, speaking of the Broly film, could they reach out to Broly and try and jump him on some 3 Saiyan crazy animal type of deal? If that's possible, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, they're going to want to incorporate Broly at some given point, regardless of the controversy that's happening in the United States, which that does affect it a lot because we brought in a lot of money. We voted with our wallets on whether or not Dragon Ball is important over here, and we succeeded. So I still think they're going to want to have Broly in the story again, and Broly right now, he's on that remote planet. Maybe they're going to go find Broly. Imagine Goku and Broly fuse, or Vegeta and Broly fuse. That would be freaking crazy. There's endless possibilities. And again, this is Dragon Ball Super, which is a cleaned up, polished fan service anime for the fans, you know, to give everything that they would love. And honestly, fans would go bananas if Broly fused with Goku or Vegeta. I think the Goku one, we actually seen something like that in the video games, and I'd be all for it, baby. Yeah, Dragon Ball Fusions. I'd be for it. I ain't gonna lie, I'd be sick as hell. But maybe Broly coming into it again. Broly, yeah, actually, no. I think Broly could do it. So maybe they'll reach out to Broly. There's that possibility. There's Ultra Instinct, which I don't think we're going to see Ultra Instinct for a long time. That's just me. Maybe I'm wrong, but Ultra Instinct, it just seems like it's so strong, and it's almost possibly the Beerus level or beyond that I don't see that. If it happens, hey, it happens, but Goku still hasn't mentioned anything of being able to tap into it since the Tournament of Power, so Ultra Instinct, the likelihood of that being what puts down Moro. I mean, hey, I would love to see Vegeta learn a form of it. That would be freaking insane, but I don't know. I guess quickly to mention that we got to see Bulma's sister, is it Tights? I want to say it's Tights. Bulma's sister in the manga again. That was kind of cool when Bulma's reaching out. Of course, setting things up, because, you know, a lot of the times in Dragon Ball manga, the side characters will have some sort of important role to helping out in the bigger picture. Either it'll be something that Bulma tells Vegeta or Goku that'll give them an idea, or maybe she'll say, hey, what about that Broly guy? So I see that that's where it's slowly leading in. It was classic Dragon Ball there, and that's some of the stuff that gives Dragon Ball Super the feeling that Dragon Ball GT didn't give, is those character moments that Dragon Ball GT was just like, when we see them, it's always in the spare, let's just get fights. This chapter, very amazing fights for the first half. Honestly, it kind of makes me feel like I'm not mad at Vegeta taking the L, because Goku took an L too. Normally we would go, Vegeta took an L, and I did. Last chapter I was very upset. This chapter I'm like, well, Vegeta took an L, but Goku took an L too. So that means Moro ain't no joke, and Moro right now is solidifying himself as possibly he could be the best Dragon Ball Super villain. I don't see why not. I don't see why people would debate that, hey, Moro is like Goku Black's attitude without the pussiness, whininess of Zamasu. Like, yeah, I think Moro is in the running, if not already there, for best villain in Dragon Ball Super. It just depends on how long this goes on, the fights that we have, how he's taken down, and all of the above. I don't trust Mirrors from, the Galactic Patrol. I don't trust that dude. I don't know why. And that another random thought that I want to throw in there. And honestly, just phenomenal chapter. If this didn't solidify Moro at the very least as a very credible threat, and holy cow, this is a dangerous situation, I don't know what will. He took down Goku. He took down Vegeta. He's mercilessly stabbing through the Namekians. And then that technique that the Namekians used is interesting, because we've seen it first, of course, in the Namek saga. The very first time it was either random Namekians doing it or Piccolo did it with Nail first. I honestly can't remember between filler and a bunch of other stuff, so one or the other, but I want to say it was Piccolo and Nail were the first ones. Then of course we seen they did it with Kami, but to this extent, the first time where they showed this whole idea of combining all of them, I think the Tournament of Power brought forth that idea of having all the Namekians, they were like Universe 6 Namekians combined, and now they're doing it here. So it's interesting, Universe 6 did it first in a way, on that massive level. So kind of cool there. Honestly, it's still freaking crazy that was savage of Moro when he said, was this your savior? Yo, bro, he just impaled him. Moro is honestly the strength that we need right now in the series to keep it interesting, with very interesting elements of like what Boo should have been. Again, I keep saying that because it's going back into Daikaio, it's going back into all of that mystique. If Majin Buu was this cool, man, things would have been different. People probably would have loved the Majin Buu saga even more. Not that I dislike the Majin Buu saga. Come on, Fusion, Gohan after he got the Z sword after the training from the old Kai, like it was a great arc. But man, and honestly, overall, great chapter, incredible action, awesome art, great story development, and the incredible build up to showcase that Moro is no joke. How are they going to take him down? I'm wondering right now. Again, is it Fusion, Broly, Ultra Instinct? Are the Kais going to have to get involved? We did see a little bit of Beerus and Whis. Eventually, Beerus will step in if the threat is too much. You know what I'm saying? So, gonna be interesting to see that there. Kind of curious what you guys think of all of this insanity with Dragon Ball. Again, how are they going to take him down? Honestly, do you guys think Moro right now is already the most interesting or the best villain we've gotten in Dragon Ball Super? It's King Piccolo meets Frieza meets Majin Buu all wrapped in one. He is truly, pun intended, corny joke intended, the GOAT. And your overall thoughts and expectations for Dragon Ball Super Chapter 47. I ain't gonna lie, Goku and Vegeta took a L. What's going on? How we gonna do it? But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to support my music, links in the description below on all music streaming platforms. iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify. You name it, it's there. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule. Anime and manga for life, boy. Bow. Have an awesome day.
And I was whatever, one day I'll be your favorite forever. No matter how you move, get it done. 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 No matter how